The story from the project, innocent black man. Let me be clear. Damn, man. The story from the project, innocent black man.
What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Small Account Challenge. Today is day number 128. Y'all, we made it out alive today, but it was a crazy ride today. I hope you guys came out alive today because it was easily a red day for most people if they didn't have the guardrails on. Anyway, I'm going to tell you how we pulled it off in today's midday market recap. All right, y'all, let's go over the trades from this morning. Like I said, it was insane. I'm going to tell you the first trade I took, I was down about $55 early on, and it really wasn't even my fault. It was just because of the volatility. It was insane. I mean, you can't even, there is no entry for the what I saw today. Anyway, let me just explain what I'm talking about. Let's go over the trades. I got into 5 trades. The first 2 we lost on, and we finally brought ourselves back and got out of Dodge. All right, cool. The first trade, check this out, was at 938 to the upside. All right, let's pull the chart up. Okay, cool. The candle that starts the market was a red candle, 930. The very next candle, I'm watching this bad boy. It opens up at 30, closes at 35. It's coming up to a key level. I mark off my key level. I say if we get past this, we jumping in that bad boy. Either side, either up or down. Anyway, that's the green candle. The very next candle, OMG. Can you see these upper wicks and lower wicks? It gets past the key level. I jump in. Like I said, I got in at 9:38 in 10 seconds. I was popped out with the guardrails at 9:38 and 11 seconds. It was moving that fast. It didn't matter what I did. The entry I got was a good entry, but it popped up, then popped down. I was like, oh man, and that put us down about $40 on the day immediately. I was like, oh Jesus. I said, cool. It is what it is. Sometimes that happens and you got to deal with it. That kind of volatility, you got to be careful, especially on 0 days to expiration contracts. You got to be careful with those because those move fast with theta on your backside. All right, cool. The next trade was at 940 to the upside. This one we also lost on. All right, cool. Here we go. The candle that we lost on opens up 35, closes at 40. Is a green candle, but like I said, it was all over the place. The very next candle opens up 40, closes at 45. We're still above the key level. I like it. So what? I jump in, but this one also is acting kind of wonky. I get in at 940 and 43 seconds. I'm thinking we're gonna ride up to that trend line I got set up there right there. We ride up there, but at the same time, it was doing some crazy price action. So with the guardrails in place, popped us up, popped us down at 941. We was popped out with another loss. So now we down about $55 on the day. I'm like, this may be a red one, Mike. Like I said, cool. I'm supposed to be going to the zoo today. That's why I'm doing a early recap. Because me and my wife and kid be going to the zoo. So I said, Mike, get in and get out. But like I said, sometimes, it ain't easy to get in and get out like that if you take a red day. But here we go. The next trade was on SPY to the upside. This one we won on. Now we started cooking. Things started to calm down. We started cooking and got our money back and got out of Dodge. 941 in 23 seconds. The trade before this one, we got popped out at 941 in 1 second. This one we jumped in to the upside. 941 in 23 seconds. All right, cool. On that same candle, because the energy was so strong, I said, you know what, Mike? Take off the guardrail and go in. Now, this was a risk I was taking. But because the bulls, when I told you before, if the bulls want to push it up, get out of their way. I know over the last couple of weeks, the Bears have been winning pretty easily, but of course, you know, Trump said something last night or this morning, and the futures was going off the roof, so the entire market stopped following suit. So anyway, 941.23, we jumped into this bad boy. We riding it up. We hold this all the way at the candle close. We break through that trend line I got set up there, and we keep riding it up onto the next candle, and we get out at 9:48 before the candle closes. That brings us back halfway home. I'm like, all right, cool. We can't make it all back in one trade, but we can start the fight back. The very next trade, here we go, was at 950 to the downside. With that kind of energy, I'm saying to myself, we might get a reversal, but be careful. Wait for resolution. All right, cool. Remember that one that took us out earlier. I see that became a line of resistance up there, so I'm thinking that may be a resistance where the bears ain't letting it go through. So as I saw it hit that on that very next candle, the one that closes up, opens up 45, closes at 50. I said, all right, cool. That's the one we got out of. I like that one. Waiting for the reversal. The next candle opens up 50, closes at 55. I'm watching this. I jumped in at 50 because I saw the upper wick pop and started coming back down. I jumped in, waited for the resolution. I got it. We riding it down. I hold this bad boy all the way down to 953, and then that one brought us back to green on the day. It was a nice trade on that push, on that downward pressure. We was able to recover the trade. Recover the account for the day. Now we sitting green, about 17 bucks. I'll take it. I said, you know, Mike, do we have enough for one more trade? We do have enough for one more trade, but get a very good entry. All right, to the downside. We catch one at 10.17. All right, here we go. The candle that opens up 55, closes at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is a green candle. Right now, we sitting on that trend line that I got set up there. I'm watching it now. The very next candle, we get that wonky in this price action. We get an upper wick and a lower wick. Pretty crazy. I said, you know what, Mike? You might have to step out and head to the zoo. I said, I don't know. You know what, Mike? I think we still can get trade. I don't know. Let's see what happens. The next candle, things start to slow down. Opens up 10.05, closes at 10.10. I'm liking it. We're sitting on the trend line. I'm like, I see it gotta break that. It gotta break through. The very next candle opens up 10.10, closes at 10.15. Still sitting on the trend line. I say if we break under that trend line, I'll jump in. The very next candle opens up 10.15, closes at 10.20. It breaks through the trend line. I jump in 10.17. We riding it down. We hold it for 1 minute and we get out 10.18. Boom! With a green trade. And that's how we finish the day. You can see it there. Boom. I really thought today was going to be a red day, but it turned out to be a green one. I did keep my composure. The trades were good. It just SPY and the price action was wonky. I hope you guys today played it safe early on, because between 9:30 and about, I would say, at about 10:05, it was insane volatility. Any direction, you could have got a good entry, but SPY would have popped you in or popped you down, and probably other stocks was moving the same way. I know Meta and Netflix are probably doing the same thing. Anyway, y'all, that's all I got for you today. I'm going to the zoo with the family, and we'll be back at this tomorrow. All right, y'all, peace.